From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. This time last year, things were looking pretty bleak for many Billings businesses. But a year after the pandemic delivered a major blow to the Billings business scene, one local retail developer says surprisingly, the world of retail is back in a big way. Steve Corning, who was the driving force behind the Shiloh Crossing development in West Billings, told us some retailers actually had record sales this past year, but for others it was definitely survival of the fittest. Q2's Jay Cohn sat down with Corning to reflect on the world of retail in the wake of the pandemic.
Billings retail developer Steve Corning says nothing compares to April, May, and June of last year, a stretch he refers to as the hardest 3 months of his 40-year career.
It was a crisis, a retail crisis of unmitigated proportions. I mean, I had, over the course of my career, seen one or two, bankruptcies filed, and you'd lose, 30 or 35,000 square feet, which is certainly a large amount of square footage, and it gets your attention. But I had never seen such an across-the-board wholesale slaughter.
By late summer and early fall of 2020, Corning says most retail activity was well on its way back.
Some people had the best years they ever had last year. Certainly it was the food retailers, the grocery retailers, the general merchandise retailers like Target and Walmart, and then other essential retailers, drugstores, dollar stores, for instance. Those types of things did very, very well.
Plus, Corning also has noticed a new trend in Billings that's helping fuel the local retail economy.
We have seen many, many new people move into Billings and want to rent space for small businesses. They either have a franchise or they have an idea or they bought a business. We've had in the last 6 months more of that than I can recall in the past several years. And definitely it's people like selling a house in California with a big gain, wanting to move to an easier place to live. And, they've selected Billings and other cities in Montana.
Adding to Corning's optimism, the new Rocky Vista University Medical School that's slated to begin construction here near Monad and Shiloh later this summer. Corning sees this adding a new dimension to the local economy.
I see that as a really important seminal development in Billings. I think the one thing we have lacked here is a higher education